That's correct. Malala Yousafzai.
The ocean.
Oh, the personal is political. You're right. Next up, Lois. Poetry is a beautiful way of expressing, not just emotion on them. I invite Mr. Shyam Arora to seems we've gathered a lot of people here, which is nice to see once again. Welcome back to the Indian Consulate, and I'm sure we are all looking forward to another fun evening. Most of our guests, special guests and chief guests are here, so I would request all of you to join us in front. And after the event, main event, we will move on to another main event, which is going to be the Holi celebration, which is a festival of colors from India. But that is going to, and I'm so happy to see all familiar and some new faces sitting right in front of me. And once again, I would request the people in the back to join us and capture some of the seats that I see empty. Let's try to give our ears and eyes to the guests, speakers, and performers today. Us, Davinder Kaurji. Davinder Kaurji, if you can make it to the stage, it will be an honor to have you on stage with all of these ladies. Thank you, Davinder Kaurji. Let's give all of these ladies a round of applause. This is a traditional way we begin a ceremony. Most of the ceremonies in India, by lighting the lamp. Thank you to each one of you who came onto the stage to light this lamp. Once again, let's clap for them. It's from India. Thank you once again, Kundranapan. And sir, while you're here on stage, I would like you to say a few words.
Chief guest for the evening, Chief Passport Officer of Royal Government of Thailand, Kundranapan. Special guest, the Consul General of United States, Kun Lisa. Distinguished guests, the Consul General of Japan, Keiichi Higuchi and Kawari-san. Director, India Study Center, Dr. Parudi. World Hindi Samman Awardee, Dr. Padma Savangsri. Scholars, artists and poets who will be speaking, reciting and performing this evening. Distinguished members of Indian community, Indian alumni, my colleagues in the consulate, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar, good evening, Swadikha, and greetings on the International Women's Day and Holi Mubarak. Today also we celebrate Hola Mohalla in one parts of India by the Sikh community, and of course Sabe Barat also. All these festivals are related with lunar calendar and falls either on the same day or close to the same day. So greetings to all of you on these festivals. What a day it is as we celebrate International Women's Day and so many festivals. As I was just speaking to my colleagues Lisa, that International Women's Day is also a festival which reminds us men that we need to really learn much more to respect women, to treat them with dignity in all aspects of womanhood, in all circumstances. And this unfortunately applies to men in all societies regardless of the stage of development they are in. Coming to the day itself, there are many versions about the origin of the day. Some date it back as 1848, but one date particularly caught my fancy, and that is 1857. It is said that on this day in New York, factory women demanding parity with men in terms of wages, hours of work and so on, went on a strike, and it is to remember that day that this day is celebrated. Of course, this is a contested history, but there is a reason that I am talking about this 1857, because around the same time when women in America were preparing for a strike, preparations were going on in India to launch the first war of independence. Around the same time, there was no relation between the two events, but it is very interesting that two remarkable leaders of that first war of independence in India were two women. One was, of course, the great Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, who with her infant son on her back fought brave battles with the British Army. As we see in this image here, it is an image which has remained etched in our collective memory from generations and will remain so. The other great woman was Begum Hazrat Mahal of Awadh, who led the fight against the British in Lucknow. And such heroic, I'm using quote unquote, I'm saying, such heroic was the battles led by her that the British had to requisition support from the monarchy in Nepal to suppress that revolt. And yet they could not get hold of her. We have a particular reason to remember the Rani of Jhansi here in Thailand, because Bangkok was the headquarters of Indian National Army, of which Rani Jhansi regiment was the first all-women regiment in the world in any army, the Indian National Army. Given this history of freedom struggle, during which there were numerous women who attained the path of martyrdom and suffering for the cause of freedom of the country, it was natural that women in India didn't have to fight for the status of equality. And after independence, when we, the people of India, adopted, enacted and gave to ourselves a constitution, equality of women was an intrinsic and inalienable feature of that constitution. In fact, women had taken such an active part in writing that constitution that they have been rightly called the founding mothers of that constitution, the founding mother of our republic. Since then, women have been playing a leading role in all parts of life. We have had 2 women heads of state, including the President Honorable Draupadi Murmuji. We have had a long-serving women Prime Minister who served for more than 1.5 decades in 2 phases. We have had 2 women foreign ministers and of course numerous ministers and 3 women foreign secretaries. And closer here we have had 3 women ambassadors in Bangkok. Much has been achieved since independence, but I would cite 3 key statistics which will reflect upon the progress that we have achieved over the last 75 years. Female literacy rate was just 9% in 1947, around 1947 when we became independent. And this was in a country which in not so distant future had great women scholars like Maitreyi, Gargi, who could take on any great scholar of the world, who could engage in polemics with any great scholar of the world, and in fact they did. And we also had great women rulers of remarkable intellect like Razia Sultan, Jahan Ara and Noor Jahan in the period immediately preceding the colonial rule. The Queen of Jhansi, about whom I just talked about, had built a library with more than 10,000 books in that time, in mid-19th century. But after 200 years of subsequent colonial rule, we were left with a female literacy rate of just 9%. But today, 75 years later, it was well over 70% at the last count, that was in 2021. Infant mortality rate, which is another reflection on the status of women, was as high as 180 at the time of independence. That is, out of every 1,000 children born, 180 used to die even before attaining the age of 1 year. Today it has come down to 29. Another key indicator of socio-economic condition of the society and women is the total fertility rate, which was as high as 6 at the time of independence. That is, on an average, every woman used to have 6 children. Today this figure has come down to 2, and the fertility rate is going down across all socio-economic categories. Obviously, much more needs to be done and is being done by our government. The statistics of National Family Health Survey of 2015-16 and 2019-21 show that very substantial progress has been achieved because of the focused approach of our government on health, nutrition and education of women. I would not take much time. We have distinguished speakers who will speak more about that. With these words, I welcome you all once again. It is a working day. You have had a work day today and still you have come and at a short notice. So thank you all. Thank you everybody who has contributed to this event. A special thanks are due to Vasana Khan. She is not here, but she is the one who has crafted this memento, which we will be presenting to some women achievers today. The basic artwork for this was done by Winnie. Hope it would be liked. Big thanks to them. I would not like to end before I speak about a remarkable woman who is now 95 years, but who was born in Japan, in Kobe in Japan in 1928. And at the age of 16 years, she was called Asha-san. At the age of 16 years, she decided to join the freedom struggle of India, and she traveled from Japan to Bangkok which was the training headquarters of Rani Jhansi Regiment of Azad Hind Fauj. She got trained as a soldier there. Now she is 95 and stayed at Patna, my hometown. I have a personal touch with her because her memoirs, which was initially written in Japanese during those times, it is a diary, was published when I was just a 9-year kid in Hindi. And I had read that. It was one of my initial literature which was an inspiration for me. Its English translation had been just published and I read it here. In fact, when I was in Bangkok a couple of days ago, so immediately I thought that I would present it to my friend Kichi because he is the representative of Japan here and it is a shared history. But I just thought that let us make it a historic occasion, so I will present this book to you today here. If you like to come. These words I hand over to Subhashini.
Thank you, sir. I guess we are all ready to celebrate the women who have been part of our history, the human history, as well as who are part of our lives. And yes, as sir talked about this lady, Rani Lakshmi Bai, I have a personal connection. She was an inspiration. Today when I walked in, I wasn't expecting her image to be right here behind me. And it was nice because I grew up idolizing her. She was someone who was an inspiration. I was like inspiration for strength, for being what you are, for asserting your rights and trying, if not succeeding completely, at least trying and thinking that, okay, I did try. That is the most important thing, taking that step. So I have just a few words in Hindi from a poem that I used to remember when I was a kid. I don't remember it anymore. But I'll just read them out to you. सिंहासन हिल उठे, राजवंशों ने भ्रिकुटी तानी थी. बूढ़े भारत में आई फिर से नई जवानी थी. गुमी हुई आज़ादी की कीमत सबने पहचानी थी. दूर फिरंगी को करने की सबने मन में ठानी थी. चमक उठी सन 57 में, वो तलवार पुरानी थी. बुंदेले हर बोलों के मुंह हमने सुनी कहानी थी. खूब लड़ी मर्दानी, वो तो झांसी वाली रानी थी. Thank you, not written by me. But yes, always a pleasure to hear these words. And as we all know that the International Women's Day has, as Sir said, pointed out that it has a long-standing history. But finally it was decided that 8th of March will be celebrated as the International Women's Day. And this year the theme is to embrace equity. And the aim is to encourage important conversations on why equal opportunities aren't enough and why equal isn't always fair. People start from different places, so true inclusion and belonging require equitable action. We can all challenge gender stereotypes, call out discrimination, draw attention to bias, and seek out inclusion. Collective activism is what drives change. From grassroots action to wide-scale momentum, we can all embrace equity. And to truly embrace equity means to deeply believe, value, and seek out differences as a necessary and positive element of life. To embrace equity means to understand the journey required to achieve women's equality and equality for everyone. Today, as we are celebrating women, I will just say that the Embrace Equity symbol is just an image. Embracing yourself. So just holding yourself, hugging yourself. So if anyone is interested, you can take a picture of yourself embracing and hashtag Embrace Equity and put it on social media. Social media is always not a bad thing. It can create awareness, it can bring about some changes. So let's all try to embrace equity. And now, celebrating some women who are sitting amongst us, we will begin with a little video. Of Faculties of Humanity at Chiangmai University. She was honored with the Vishwa Hindi Samman for her teaching and research work in Hindi by India's Minister for External Affairs, Dr. S. Jayashankar, at the World Hindi Conference held last month in Fiji. She, along with her partner in work and life, Dr. Seksan Sevangsri, was earlier this year conferred the Freedom Fighter Lal Singh Pandey Bhatia Award on Republic Day right here at the Indian Consulate. I would like to invite Indian Consul Krishnaji to the stage to honor Dr. Padma Sevangsri. Please, sir, join us. And Dr. Padma, can we have you on stage as well? We have the memento and Gandhiji's book, My Experiments with Truth, for her. It's a Thai translation of Gandhiji's book, My Experiments with Truth. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you, sir. Dr. Padma, we would like you to stay on stage. My Experiments with Truth is a very, very interesting and must-read book, I would say, for everyone. But Padma ji is here with us, and she's going to share a few words. So Padma ji is going to speak to us in Hindi. Padma ji हिंदी में वार्तालाप करेंगी और आशा है हम सब उनको सुनेंगे और थोड़ा सा ध्यान देंगे. Thank you.
माननीय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य जी, यहाँ उपस्थित सभी लोगों को मेरा सादर प्रणाम. मैं पद्मा सेवांश्री हूँ. मैं चिंगमाई विश्वविद्यालय के भारत विद्या अनुविभाग में हिंदी सिखा रही हूँ. लगभग 10 साल पहले मैं केंद्रीय हिंदी संस्थान आगरा में प्रारंभिक हिंदी छात्रा थी. सबसे पहले आप सभी को महिला दिवस की शुभकामनाएं और होली की भी शुभकामनाएं. 12वीं विश्व हिंदी सम्मान प्राप्त करना मेरे लिए सौभाग्य की बात है. इस सम्मान के लिए मैं सब हिंदी आचार्यों को और थाईलैंड के सभी विद्वानों को धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ. मैं उनके प्रति कृतज्ञ हूँ कि उन्होंने ये कार्य सौंपा और मार्गदर्शन किया. यह कार्य उनके आशीर्वाद से ही संभव हुआ है. महिला दिवस के अवसर पर मैं सब लोगों से इस कहानी के माध्यम से कुछ कहना चाहती हूँ. एक बार एक बालक पढ़ाई करना चाहता था, इसलिए वो अपने गुरु के पास गया और बोला, गुरुजी, मुझे भी शिक्षा ग्रहण करनी है, इसलिए कृपया मुझे विद्या का दान दीजिए. गुरुजी ने उस बालक के हाथों को देखा और कहा कि तुम्हारे हाथों में विद्या की रेखा ही नहीं है, तुम कभी विद्या ग्रहण नहीं कर सकते. बालक ने गुरुजी से पूछा कि यह विद्या की रेखा कौन सी होती है. गुरुजी ने उसे बताया. फिर बालक ने एक चाकू उठाया और चाकू से अपने हाथ पर विद्या की रेखा खींच ली. यह देखकर गुरुजी भी हैरान हो गए. आगे चलकर यह बालक संस्कृत के महान विद्वान पाणिनि कहलाए। यह कहानी हमें सिखाती है कि हमें हमेशा खुद पर विश्वास करना चाहिए और निरंतर मेहनत करते रहना चाहिए। अंतिम में हम चिंगमाई में माननीय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य जी के बहुत आभारी हैं। आप हमारे सबसे प्रिय कौंसल हैं। आप बहुत दयालु हैं। आपने हमेशा हमें मौका दिया, हमारी हर समय सहायता की। सिर्फ हमें नहीं, विद्यार्थियों की भी आपसे हमेशा प्रोत्साहन मिलता रहा है। शायद आपको नहीं पता है कि हमारे विद्यार्थी हमेशा आपको पिताजी कहते हैं। एक कहावत है कि जब नींव मजबूत होगी तभी बड़ी इमारत बनेगी। आप जैसे हमारे नींव हैं। आपने हमें एक महत्वपूर्ण जिम्मेदारी सौंप रखा है, भारत की भाषा और संस्कृति के प्रचार प्रसार करने की। हम भारत विद्या अनुविभाग के नाम से यह वचन देते हैं कि हम अच्छी तरह से भारत की भाषा और संस्कृति का प्रचार प्रसार करते रहेंगे। आपके आशीर्वाद से शुरू हुआ यह कार्य अपने मुकाम तक अवश्य पहुंचेगा। हम पर विश्वास करने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। हमेशा हमें मार्गदर्शन देते रहें। धन्यवाद।
कुलपन्ना बहुत खूबसूरत। हिंदी भाषी होने के नाते मैं ये समझ सकती हूँ कि आसान नहीं है हिंदी में बात करना, और इन्होंने काफ़ी कोशिश की है एक्चुअली शुद्ध हिंदी बोलने की। सो एज अ हिंदी स्पीकर आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट स्पीकिंग in pure Hindi is not an easy task, especially in the current times, but she has done a wonderful job. Once more, please, let's clap for her. Thank you, Padma ji. And now I would like to invite Dr. Amnoy Pond Kitproma on stage, please. She is an alumni of the renowned Vishwa Bharati and Shanti Niketan. Currently, she is an associate professor of philosophy in the Faculty of Humanities at Chiangmai University.
Amanam Nong. I can speak Bengali a little bit, but today I will speak English. As a researcher on women in South Asia, I work on women in Vaishnava Sahajya tradition. It was a very spectacular experience, wonderful experience to spend time with those women. And my conclusion of my research is that India said to be the male-dominated culture, as people say, but that kind of culture, that kind of civilization cannot be survived without the hand of the mother, of the wife, of the daughter, and of the wonderful women of India. And I have to say that women, even though we marginalized, we never value as we are, but then without us, the world cannot be the world right now. And without men too, I don't want to be just like, oh, this is a woman day and I not mention about the man. The man is important too. So in this world, I would like everyone to look at it as a relationship between men and women, a relationship between among many genders. And I would like to invite everyone, give a big applause to the woman in your family, to a woman of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Amnoy Pond. Next, I would like to invite our Consul Krishnaji, please on stage. And
Our special guest, Consul General of the USA, Condoleezza A. Buenanas. Let's give them a round of applause. The Consul from India will be giving a memento and a book honoring Condoleezza. The book is by our External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jayashankar. Thank you, sir. And Condoleezza, the stage is yours.
Thank you to my dear friend Kun Krishna and to the Indian Consulate for both hosting the event tonight and for inviting me to give the keynote address tonight. Saudi Kak Pumikiet Tuktan Kala Suksan Wansatri Sakon. I'm happy to see so many people here to celebrate International Women's Day. First, as Kun Krishna has already mentioned, what is International Women's Day and why does it matter? And he had mentioned that there is a debate about when it started. So actually I was doing my own research and I think it was the same event but maybe 50 years later. So the year is in debate. What I found was on March 8th, 1908, maybe 1857, there were 15,000 female garment workers who marched through New York City's Lower East Side to protest child labor, sweatshop working conditions, and to demand voting rights. In 1911, the first International Women's Day events were celebrated in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland. And since the early 1900s, March 8th has been a day in which women all over the world have protested for social justice and change. From British women protesting for humane working conditions to Russian women in 1917 calling for the end of World War I. In 1975, United Nations member states passed a resolution celebrating March 8th as International Women's Day as a focal point in the women's rights movement, bringing attention to issues such as gender equality, reproductive rights, and violence and abuse against women. International Women's Day has also been commemorated to honor the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. It's a time to reflect on the progress we have made, to call for further change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of their countries and communities. In some countries, International Women's Day has the equivalency status of Mother's Day. And so you can see small children give presents to their mothers and grandmothers. For me, International Women's Day is also an opportunity to think about the contributions of women in international relations. I've been inspired by many women who have paved the way for women in my career field of diplomacy. Eleanor Roosevelt is a prime example and was one of the first American women who made a global lasting impact through diplomacy. She was Franklin Delano Roosevelt's wife during his terms as U.S. President and was heavily influenced by the suffering she saw during the Second World War. In 1945, after World War II, the United States helped establish the United Nations. U.S. President Harry S. Truman appointed Eleanor Roosevelt as the U.S. delegate to the UN, where the UN Human Rights Council later elected her to be its first ever chairperson. She was actively involved and wrote sections of a document that became the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Adopted in 1948, this document declares that every individual is born with fundamental rights. And women delegates from various countries with different legal and cultural backgrounds played a key role in getting women's rights included in the Declaration. Kun Krishna, you may know, Hansa Mehta of India, the UN delegate from India, is widely credited with changing the phrase, all men are born free and equal, to all human beings are born free and equal, in Article 1 of the Declaration. Eleanor Roosevelt valued the importance of this document because it offered expectations and standards of protection for every person worldwide. She understood that this document would impact future generations. From the United States. In the United States, we can attest that progress on this issue has been steady but slow. The U.S. Congress passed the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution in 1920, granting American women the right to vote in every state of the Union. However, African American women didn't get this right to vote until 1964, until the 24th Amendment. More recently, in 1995, when First Lady of the United States, Hillary Clinton, who later became U.S. Secretary of State, delivered a famous speech at United Nations Fourth World Conference on Women in Beijing, China, calling for nations to end violence and discrimination towards women. This was a tense forum where UN member states identified global human rights violations. Secretary Clinton took this opportunity to remind the world of a simple yet significant fact. She said, "Let it be that human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights, once and for all." This was a somewhat new argument at that time, but has since reframed how many people think about women's rights. And so what about now? Girls in most countries can go to school. Women in most countries can vote. Women in most countries can hold careers in various fields. So our work is done here, right? Obviously not even close. Women comprise more than half of the world's population, 70% of the world's poor, and 2/3 of those who are not taught to read and write. And in addition, COVID taught us many lessons. One was that burdens placed upon working mothers were much greater than others. Working mothers were much more likely to leave the workforce to take care of children who were then studying online or not studying at all than men. The World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report in 2021 estimated that the COVID-19 pandemic had increased the global gender gap by a generation, from 99.5 years to 135.6 years. That's the length of time needed to achieve parity for women in a variety of social, education, economic, and political areas. I was actually just reading an article yesterday that the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres declared that it actually would take 300 years to achieve gender parity. COVID also exacerbated the gender pay gap, which quadrupled in Thailand between 2015 and 2020. And in the United States, a woman makes 83 cents for every dollar a man makes doing the same type of job. In Australia, the gender pay gap is now 18.8%, which equates to a woman earning about $1 million less than a man doing the same type of job over their career span. A recent UN report pointed to family responsibilities carried by women and a lack of similar network connections as root causes of the wage gap between men and women. It highlighted that women were less likely to ask for promotions while being held to higher standards than men. The gender gap persists in education too, including the underrepresentation of girls in STEM education and careers. This remains a major barrier to their participation in tech design and governance online, and to utilizing the skills of women to combat the pervasive threat of violence. A recent UN Women's Survey revealed that 73% of women journalists from 125 countries have suffered online violence in the course of their work. And this is why the UN's theme for International Women's Day in 2023 is Digital, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. So there's still much work to do. Shifting social norms is a lengthy and complex process. But policies, oftentimes popular ones, such as enforcing flexible working hours, working conditions, providing affordable childcare, and providing paid maternity and paternity leave, help to drive changes in the right direction. And it also can promote economic growth. Narrowing the difference in wages between men and women in the labor force will boost the world's economy by about 7%, or $7 trillion, according to the UN. So we're working on this in the United States and via our diplomatic outreach in other countries, including Thailand. The U.S. mission in Thailand partners with the Royal Thai government and others on several programs that promote women's economic development and the safety and security of women and girls. Some of these programs train women entrepreneurs, help them develop their small businesses, and help them sell into new markets, including via e-commerce. And we're doing this also in Chiangmai and in northern Thailand. We're also working with Thailand to prevent human trafficking, empower trafficking victims, and further improve the ways that Thai agencies interact with victims. And so I don't want to make it sound like it's all down, Debbie Downer tonight. I'd like to make one final point though. In every country and throughout the course of history, women continue to be grossly underrepresented in leadership roles. And all the women that I've mentioned tonight were in positions of influence. And we now have the first ever female vice president of the United States in Kamala Harris, who also is of Indian descent. The United States has yet to elect a female president, unlike India. To date, 81 countries have never had a woman head of state, although women again comprise 50% or more of the world's population. And so representation matters, so that young women and girls today have role models and examples to follow. And First Lady Hillary Clinton said at that UN forum in 1995, those of us who have the opportunity to be here have the responsibility to speak for those who cannot. And Indian Prime Minister Modi said just last week in the G20 foreign ministers meeting in New Delhi, saying, we also have a responsibility towards those who are not in this room. No group can claim global leadership without listening to those most affected by its decisions. So with that, I'd like to encourage all of us to do this, to include the voices that are not in the room by inviting them in. For those in positions of power, we must recruit more women for leadership positions. We must create an atmosphere where women and men feel comfortable taking leave to care for their families. And for all of us, we must encourage and support girls' STEM education and career development. Be a mentor, be an ally. Host events like tonight that celebrate the contributions and highlight challenges for women. And so with that, I would like again to thank Kundu Krishna for being an ally and being a mentor, the Indian Consulate, all of tonight's guests and speakers, and all of you for participating and being a part of this movement towards greater gender equality. So thank you so much for your time, and happy International Women's Day, and Holi Mubarak.
We are able to, as Condoleezza said, be an ally or be a mentor to at least one other. Let's include the voices that are not here. Let us make each other a part of the solution. Thank you once again to all of our esteemed speakers for the insightful and encouraging words. And now we're going to move on to some fun. A little bit of fun doesn't hurt anyone. It's going to be a little quiz round. Simple rule, if you know the answer, just raise your hand and I will come to you with the mic. And if you want me to repeat the question, just wave or just shout out, repeat the question. Okay, one little rule, try not to look at Google. The questions are secret, so only I think Krishna ji and I know the questions. So I'm not going to take the mic to him, even if he raises his hand. But everybody else is part of the quiz. So let's begin with the question number one. It's going to be mixed, so let's see. What is the official color of International Women's Day? Okay. We'll go first come, first serve. Your name and the answer, please.
Lisa Buchanan, it's purple.
Purple is the color for the International Women's Day. And we have a little award for Condoleezza. Thank you. Question number two. Who was the famous freedom fighter of 1857 rebellion whom the colonial regime could not catch and whose mausoleum is located in Kathmandu? Kathmandu is in Nepal. And through the evening, the name has already been mentioned. I'll repeat the question. Who was the famous freedom fighter of 1857 rebellion whom the colonial regime could not catch and whose mausoleum is located in Kathmandu? Her name was taken on stage by the consul. Anyone? Okay, we have someone? The gentleman? Oh, okay. Your name and answer, please.
Ronnie, Queen Jassy.
No. You're getting closer because her name was mentioned along with her. Anyone else? Okay, right at the back. Okay. Who raised their hand? Okay. That's again Rani Lakshmi Bai, but no, that is not the answer. Anybody else? Can?
Razia Sultan?
Okay, that was Sneha, my colleague and friend, but it was not Razia Sultan. I think I can give the answer. It was Begum Hazrat Mahal. Kathmandu perhaps was the cue. Question number 3. Which country was the first to grant women the right to vote? The first country, self-governed country, to grant women the right to vote. Okay, we have someone at the back and then we come to you.
India ka.
Oh, that is very sweet. That comes from your love towards India. I really like that. But we have another one here. Please, your name and answer. Not the United States. I have someone right there. No.
Hey. New Zealand.
Oh, that's correct. A round of applause for him. What's your name?
My name is Bebka.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, yes, it was New Zealand who awarded the right, first country to award the right to vote to women. Who is the first and only woman to have won 3 Nobel Prizes in different fields? 3 Nobel Prizes in different fields. I see a lady right there. Of a princely state in present-day Karnataka, led an armed rebellion against the colonial regime in 1824, but was defeated and died in prison. Who was she? Karnataka, 1824, defeated and passed away in prison. The name of the queen.
Someone is looking.
Okay, let's see who's quick to look at Google and tell me. Let's find out. Come on, raise your hands. Anyone? Okay, she is one of the lesser known people from India. Even in Indian history books, we read about her very rarely. But if anyone can answer now, otherwise I'll give out the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to. Oh, okay, we have someone. Your name, please.
My name is Bhakti-Ratana from Chiangmai University. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name incorrect. Hiju Rani, Chennamma.
That's correct. Queen Chennamma, Rani Chennamma. Very rarely heard by Indians as well, but a very important figure. Oh yes, that's something I would like to know. Did we use Google? Did we Google it? Did you Google it? Okay, well, we'll still give it to her, please. I mean, it's not easy to quickly Google and come up with an answer. So let's move on to the next question. Who led the famous raid on Chittagong armory of the colonial regime and attained martyrdom? this question is mostly, I guess most of the Indians should be able to respond. Who led the famous raid on Chittagong Armory of the colonial regime and attained martyrdom?
I said that I saw people from Bangladesh googling to say that people from Bangladesh should not Google for this question. not from Indian part of Bengal.
So anyone? Come on. At the back. Yeah, the questions are about women. Okay, I would like you to give your name and then the answer.
My name is Najmul Islam. I think it's Preeti Lata one.
That is correct. Thank you. It is Preeti Lata Wadedar. She was only 21 at that time. She carried a cyanide capsule with her during this raid and swallowed it just before she was caught by the British Army. So that, of course, she couldn't be caught by the British Army. So she swallowed the cyanide capsule. She was just 21. Thank you. Next question. Who is the founder of the Malala Fund, which works to ensure girls around the world have access to education? The Malala Fund. We have someone here.
From Pakistan, she's Malala.
Do you know the second name? Okay, we will give it to you. She is the young girl from Pakistan, Malala Yousafzai. Please remember to take your award. A Naga spiritual and political leader led a revolt against colonial rule in India. She was arrested in 1932 at the age of 16 and was sentenced to life imprisonment by the colonial regime. Can we have her name, or just the first name, or the second name? Anyone? That was a good one. What's your name, please?
Kartikeyan.
Kartikeyan. Thank you. Kartikeyan from Chiangmai. You're correct. Rani Gaidiniliu. Next question. What is the name of the global movement that aims to end violence against women and girls? This movement caught the world by a storm. Things have not been same since then.
Is it Me Too movement?
That's correct. Hashtag #MeToo. It opened a lot of secrets, a lot of hidden skeletons came out of the cupboards, and we are glad for that. Who was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean? First woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. This is the second last question, so if you want that shiny green paper,
My name is Kami. The lady's name is
awesome, that's correct, Amelia Earhart. And now the last question, so be prepared. It's the last opportunity to win the green packet, shiny green packet. Which famous feminist icon coined the phrase, "The personal is political"? The personal is political was coined by which feminist icon? Should I take it away from myself? I can take the shiny green packet back home. Okay, I will give the answer. Let's not keep everyone waiting. Carol Hinish. Thank you everyone for participating, and we've just changed the order slightly, and we have some representatives of the younger generation who will be joining us on stage, who have been preparing a performance for all of us. we want to bring about a change. We can bring about the change by making sure the younger generation, the next generation, has positive role models, has positive things to look forward to. And today we have Priya Parat Pumikul, Rachanath Patra, Tipat Kulpak Tising Warn. Can we have all three of you on stage, please? Remember, they are the younger generation. Let's encourage them, support them, and make sure we give our eyes and ears to them. They have their exam tomorrow, so also wish them luck when they are leaving. So while they are just quickly prepping up, I'd like to say that not just in India, but all across the world, poetry, songs, music and dance play a big part in our lives. Many changes have been passed on through generations through this medium. And it is one of the catchiest way to spread the word. So let's see what the young boys are about to perform for us.
एक पल दूर गवार नहीं ने मुझको संभाला, सारे गमों को दिल से निकाला। तेरे साथ मेरा है नसीब जुड़ा,
Thank you, boys. That was wonderful. And next up we have Priya. She's performing at the Consulate for the first time, and she'll be dancing. And now we have Priya up on stage. Please remember to applaud her. Thank you, Priya. That was beautiful. And a good beginning. I mean, Holi, you have to remember this song. When this comes on, all of you have to dance. But now I would like to invite Consul Krishna Chaitanya ji on stage to give our youngsters a certificate. So if we can have Priya. Priya, can you be on stage? And can you please join us on stage to receive your certificates? And along with the certificates, they are also receiving a book by late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was also a President of India. A very big influence on modern politics, but also he was a fierce proponent of women's rights, women's education, but also he understood and he talked about how important it is for the young generation, boys and girls both, to be educated, to be able to make informed choices about their careers and their education. Give the young ones a round of applause and good luck, Priya, Rachanand and Pipat, for your exam tomorrow. Do come back for our next performances whenever we have the opportunity. Thank you, sir. As I say, poetry is a beautiful way of expressing not just emotion, but thoughts, experiences, dreams, desires, and much more. Some of us have had the pleasure of hearing this lady on many occasions, and I can say we are all very happy to have you back with us here in Chiang Mai. Ghazaljeet, please come onto the stage. आप कहिए हम सुनेंगे, चलेंगे आपके रास्तों के साथ साथ।
कह रहे जो कुछ बोलना था वो सब कुछ पहले बता चुके हैं, तो मैं उस पर टाइम नहीं अपना लूँगी। और आप सबको हैप्पी इंटरनेशनल वुमेन डे मुबारक हो, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस। 3 अक्षर औरत, और इन 3 अक्षरों में ही बहुत सारे रिश्ते समाये हुए हैं। बेटी, माँ, बहू, बहुत सारे रिश्ते हैं जो ये मेन रिश्ते हैं। और इन सबसे कह रहे कि वुमेन का जो वुमेन एम्पावर करना, ये सब कुछ हो चुका है। मैं इससे कुछ थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट बोलूँगी, जो कि आजकल बहुत हो रहे हैं। मेंटल इलनेस बहुत ज़्यादा हो रही है, जो कि बच्चे और वुमेन जिनको रिस्पेक्ट चाहिए, लव चाहिए, वो सब और चीज़ों से बढ़कर है। तो मैं उन चीज़ों पे कहूँगी। पीछे से एक एक्ट्रेस थी, यंग एक्ट्रेस थी तुनिशा शर्मा, जिसने सुसाइड का कदम उठाया। तो उस टाइम मेरे दिमाग में क्या लाइन्स आई हैं वो मैं कहना चाहूँगी। और कभी होता है जब हम डीमोटिवेट हो जाते हैं, तो अंदर से एक इनर पावर होती है जो हमें द्वारा से मोटिवेट करती है। वो इनर पावर हमें कैसे मोटिवेट करती है, उसको मैंने थोड़े से पोइट्रिक वर्ड में ढाला है। हे फिर से रूठी हो, बिन वजह खुद से ही रूठी हो। एक बात कहूँ, तुम बहुत ही झूठी हो। याद करो पिछली बार जब तुम हिम्मत हार गई थी। याद करो जब पिछली बार तुम हिम्मत हार गई थी। याद है कैसे समझाया था, तुझे तेरी ही खूबियों से वाकिफ करवाया था। तुझ हारी को जीत बनाया था, तेरे होठों को हंसी से सजाया था। पर सब बेकार। आखिर तुम समझती क्यों नहीं हो? अपने ही रंग में रंगती क्यों नहीं हो? भूलकर सब परेशानियों को खुलकर जीती क्यों नहीं हो? देख अब आखिरी बार फिर से तुम्हें समझा रही हूँ, एक अच्छे दोस्त की तरह बहुत प्यार से। ये जिंदगी आसान नहीं होती, आसान बनाना पड़ेगा। मुश्किल राह है, ठोकरें भी लगेंगी। इन ईंट पत्थरों को खुद ही हटाना पड़ेगा। कुछ आदम भेड़िए भी मिलेंगे, उनसे भी खुद को ही संभालना पड़ेगा। खुद की हिम्मत खुद बन और बन खुशी खुद ही मुस्कुराना पड़ेगा। हालात थे, अप एंड डाउन्स होते रहते हैं लाइफ में। हालात थे अच्छे बुरे बीत गए। अब उठ चल, गिर और संभल और फिर से चल। हाँ, एक बात और कहूँगी, ये उनके लिए है। कभी कभी हमारे खुद के मन में भी आती, इतना हम परेशान हो जाते हैं, हम हैंडल नहीं कर पाते अपनी परेशानियों से। और एक वर्ड है सुसाइड, हम उसकी तरफ चल जाते हैं। लेकिन ये बात ध्यान से सुनना। हाँ, एक बात और कहूँगी, परेशानियों से डरकर अगर मर भी गई तो किसी को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। परेशानियों से तुम मर भी गई तो किसी को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। 2 पल रोएंगे, तेरे जाने का मातम भी मनाएंगे, तेरी अच्छाइयाँ भी याद करेंगे और फिर निकल पड़ेंगे नए रास्तों की ओर, नए साथी की तलाश में। फर्क पड़ेगा उन्हें जिन्होंने तुझे जन्म दिया और जिन्हें तुझे जन्म दिया। फर्क पड़ेगा उन्हें जिन्होंने तुझे जन्म दिया और जिसे तूने जन्म दिया। खुद की हिम्मत खुद बन, अपनी खुशियों के लिए किसी की मोहताज मत हो। लड़ अपनी परेशानियों से, जीत और मिसाल कायम कर और ये कहें, छू लूंगी ऊंचे आसमां को दोस्त, छू लूंगी ऊंचे आसमां को दोस्त। हाथों में चूड़ियां हैं, हथकड़ियां नहीं, तय कर लूंगी हर मुश्किल राह। पैरों में पायल है, बेड़ियां नहीं, शिखर तक पहुंचने के लिए रास्ते बहुत हैं, शिखर तक पहुंचने के लिए रास्ते बहुत हैं। बस एक हिम्मत जरूरी है, कम सीढ़ियां नहीं, छू लूंगी ऊंचे आसमां को दोस्त। हाथों में चूड़ियां हैं, हथकड़ियां नहीं, हथकड़ियां नहीं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Ghazal ji. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. That was beautiful. The band Sister and the Band. Please join us on stage. And while they are quickly setting up, I would just say a few things about them. Sister originated in Ireland. The band has lead singer Aislinn. She's on the piano as well as vocals. Aislinn is an alternative pop singer and songwriter. She recently released the first single of her debut EP and performed on BBC Introducing and Irish radio stations throughout the country. She's currently here in Thailand to focus on writing and releasing music. And Chiangmai has had the pleasure of hosting her and listening to her beautiful voice. Accompanying her on the violin is Elizabeth Denver, or Lizzie D. She's a British citizen who now calls Chiangmai her home. She's a drama teacher at Holi and has been playing violin for most of her life. She has played with orchestras and other bands in UK and around the world, including the all-women's Sister Jam. And on percussion, supporting them is our very own homeboy, Willie. Well, I guess I don't need to say much about him. We all know him. Musician, tech whiz, artist, just a multifaceted personality. Give it up for Sister and the Bands.
Thank you. Happy International Women's Day. So Sister, the name came from actually being a sister. I'm one of 4 girls in my family, so missing them a lot today. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the music. And if you do, you can check it out online. It's Sister, but with an I instead of an E. SISTIR. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. This is the first song is called Bridge, and you can check it. This is my stripped back version of it. So, yeah. Sorry, we need to plug in.
น้องเอาโรลินไปอ่ะมี2 อันแล้วไป2 อันเลยไง
มันเอาไปอันเดียว
So let's just be a little bit patient.
น่าเหลืออันหนักไว้
And
เอา
they
ไว้
will
ก่อน
definitely win your hearts. They will continue to perform around Chiangmai.
มันเล่น
Look at social media and you know where to find them next.
เด็ดคิดไม่มีอะเด็ดคิดไม่ในใจเวลาบินอย่างเงี้ย
So
'Cause your love, it holds me. In my dreams, you meet me by the palm tree. Song. This one's called In the Eyes. I was actually, as I was listening to those amazing speeches, I was thinking about, the songs that we're playing and where they fit in this. And so many of the songs that I wrote about relationships was like taking care of people too much. And I think as women, that's a role that we tend to take a lot. Maybe putting others before ourselves. So maybe it's a reminder to, look after ourselves and look after each other. I know the women in my life need reminders of that. This is called In the Eyes. sister and the band. If you're interested to know more about the music, don't hesitate to come up and talk to us. Have a great night.
Happy Holi. He has a way with words, and today he has written something for this special occasion. It is going to be in Hindi, and we will try to give you a gist in English, but the stage is yours, Shyamji.
Hello. Happy International Women's Day to everyone. I have written a poem in praise of women, but it's in Hindi. I didn't get time to translate in English. Thank you. I'm going to start, and it's called Nari Adbhut Hai Tu. Nari Bahut Adbhut Hai Tu. Hai sorry. ओ नारी है रूप तेरे कितने, ममता दया त्याग साहस चरित्र तेरे। गांव के कुएं पे सर पे मटकी लिए, रण क्षेत्र में हाथ में तलवार लिए, रसोई में घर का भार लिए, आईने के सामने श्रृंगार किए, क्या क्या कर जाती है तू, नारी बहुत अद्भुत है तू। जीवन भी तू जननी भी तू, जीवन भी तू जननी भी तू, जीवन का आधार भी तू, लेती है जीवन का भार भी तू, बसाती है घर संसार भी तू, नारी बहुत अद्भुत है तू। कविता भी तू, रुबाई भी तू, राधा भी तू, मीराबाई भी तू, गजल भी तू, ठुमरी भी तू, ना जन्म होता शायरी का अगर ना होती तू, नारी बहुत अद्भुत है तू, नारी बहुत अद्भुत है तू। मुस्कुराकर दर्द छुपाकर समाज के ताने खाकर, माथे पे बिंदिया लगाकर मांग में सिंदूर लगाकर, क्या क्या कर जाती है तू, नारी बहुत अद्भुत है तू, नारी बहुत अद्भुत है तू। पुरुष हूँ अभिमान से लदा हूँ, पर नारी तेरे बिन अधूरा हूँ। प्यार भी करता हूँ और इश्क भी करता हूँ, और तुझसे ईर्ष्या भी करता हूँ कभी कभी। पुरुष हूँ अभिमान से भरा हूँ, नारी पर तुझके बिना अधूरा हूँ। माँ, हर उम्र में तेरी गोद में आके सोता हूँ, तेरी गोद में आके रोता हूँ। बहन, हर दिन तेरे से कुछ नया सीखता हूँ, बहन हर दिन तेरे से कुछ नया सीखता हूँ। बेबी, खुश तो तेरी बाहों में ही आके होता हूँ। बेटी, जहाँ तुझ पे निसार करता हूँ। पुरुष हूँ अभिमान से लदा हूँ, पर नारी तेरे बिन मैं अधूरा हूँ, नारी तेरे बिन मैं अधूरा हूँ। बहुत अद्भुत है तू नारी, अद्भुत है तू नारी। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Shyamji. That was beautifully expressed. Just a little gist in English. It talks about the different roles that a woman takes over through her lifetime, being a mother, a sister, a daughter, a wife, and the different hardships that she goes through, and still she keeps smiling and she keeps supporting and encouraging the men as well as the other people in her life. And it also speaks about how incomplete as a man I am without you. I find the solace in your arms, as a mother. If I need to look for solace from a mother, it's in your lap. as a lover in your arms, as a friend in your arms. And so he just talks about how wonderful a woman is. Thank you, he says, for being there for me and always.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We are almost at the end of the celebration, and we have some lovely women with us, and we have some mementos to present. So I would like to invite our Consul Krishna Chaitanya ji. We will begin with Kun Davinder Kaur ji. Davinder Kaur ji, आप बैठिए, सर आपके पास ही आ रहे हैं. Sir will go to her. She is a woman of indomitable spirit, symbolizing the resilience and fighting spirit of women. We salute her. Thank you for being here today amongst us for this celebration. Sir, you can join us on the stage. And next I would like to invite Ghazal ji, but she is not present with us. So Sir is going to honor her right now. Please give her a round of applause. The gorgeous poetess from Bangkok. Thank you, Ghazal ji, for being amongst us and celebrating with us. Thank you. Next up, I would like to invite Kun Annette. She has been serving as the Honorary Consul of Ireland in North Thailand for 24 years. And there is a secret, and we all love her for that. Keep celebrating with us, Kun Annette. Next, I'd like to Kun Sipon Kamburi. She's a travel and tour entrepreneur. A big fan of India. She loves organizing and conducting tours to India. Do we have her amongst us? Okay. Kun Kanchan Soni. Kun Kanchan Soni for promoting Indian cuisine in Chiangmai with love and a homey feeling. Her at-home restaurants have been like a home away from home from many newcomers. Kun Kanchan Soni is on her way to the stage. Let's give her a round of applause, please. We will wait for you, Kun Kanchan Soni, and I'll move on to Kun Sarita Malhotra for promoting Indian cuisine in Chiang Mai with her Taste of Punjab through Sarita's Kitchen. The flavors and taste speak for themselves. Oh. So seems like we're having, some people, they are having their dinner. So we will move on to the next body. Kun Yani Buasai, also known as Joy. Joy, if you're with us, for promoting Indian cuisine in Chiang Mai. She is the lady behind Acha Authentic Indian Restaurant, which has become synonymous with Indian food in the city. They are located in the heart of Niman. And tonight, they are the ones serving food to all of us. So remember to enjoy the yummy food. Next up, Kun Sunantara Sachdeva. She has come up with more than 24 brands of Indian tea and is without doubt the ambassador of saris. Tonight also she may look demure in a sari, what she's wearing right now, looking lovely, but when she is on the drums, she is a completely different sight. A rare sight and perhaps the only accomplished female drummer in town. Remember to go and watch her perform when she's performing next in Chiang Mai. Kun Sarita ji, please join us on stage. Sarita ji represents The Taste of Punjab through Sarita's Kitchen. Once again, flavor some food from the heart of India. We regret that not all of them are here, but Lee Arora is the next from Yummy India. But perhaps another occasion. And last but not the least, Ratsala Sanktam. Ratsala Sanktam, our lovely Indian friend from the beautiful land of Nagaland. Ratsala, if you're here, please join us on stage. Hindi is not her mother tongue, but we have heard and seen her perform in Hindi effortlessly. Please join us on stage. Thank you. And thank you to the Consul Krishna ji for being on stage. Ratsala ji, we would like you back on stage. I will hand over the mic to her. She's got a Hindi song for us. Please do encourage her. The stage is yours.
Yeah, Sawadika, Namaste, and Konnichiwa. Happy International Day and Happy Holi. Two outstanding celebration, and I'm honored to be here singing two Indian old songs sang by two extraordinary Indian women singers. It's Behla Nasha and Ajibata. So I hope you all enjoy the song.
चाहे तुम कुछ ना कहो मैंने सुन लिया ये साथी प्यार का मुझे चुन लिया सुन लिया मैंने सुन लिया बहला नशा बहला
Again. Can you make it longer? Teachers do scared sometimes. Let's rock it. Yep. Ready? Sorry.
चाहे तुम कुछ ना कहो मैंने सुन लिया कि साथी प्यार का मुझे सुन लिया चुन लिया मैंने सुन लिया महला नशा महला कुमार नया प्यार है नया इंतजार कर लूं मैं क्या अपना दिले बेकरार मेरे दिले बेकरार तू ही बता
so sorry. I am really scared. I don't know why I do that. Yeah, but the next song is Aji Bata Sadai, yeah? Sang by Lara Manishka.
Thank you everyone. For Holi, let's try to be respectfully fun. So if any of the people here do not wish to get wet or be colored, let's so please remember to accept that and respect that. So do make sure to ask before you color someone. That's a very important thing. So yes, everyone enjoy. Thank you once again, and let's spread the word. So we have a few of our regulars here, and it's always a joy to have them, and they would love to take the stage. Yeah, but if you want to go ahead and have dinner, please do that, and I will hand over the mic to some of our singers around here. Thank you. So who's coming up first, Parth or Gurmeet ji? Parth ji, are you going to be singing? I'm going to hand over to Gurmeet ji. On stage right now we have Kanchan Soni. Thank you Kanchan ji for joining us today.
เรียบร้อยค่ะ Oh, plan.
न छोड़ेंगे हाँ, आज न छोड़ेंगे बस हम डोली खेलेंगे हम होली खेलेंगे हम होली चाहे भीगे चाहे भीगे तेरी चुनरिया चाहे
Oh, sorry. No.
जिसको डांस नहीं करना